Mr. Boyd, first of all, it's a real pleasure to have you with us. But what brought you here at this symposium?
Because it appeared to be an innovative program talking about families transitioning from intact relationships to dissolved relationships and how children undergoing that transition with their parents can be best helped to survive unscathed.
What would you like to see coming out of this symposium?
Because you've put together such an impressive group of individuals who are well respected and widely known in their respective fields, I'm looking forward to seeing whether something new and innovative comes out of this meeting.
John Paul, how do you see mediation today versus 20 years ago?
Firstly, mediation, I think, has gained a lot more popular traction. Once upon a time, mediation was thought of as a bit flaky, a bit uncertain. It wasn't what lawyers traditionally do. And nowadays, it's become something that lawyers do almost, or at least are prepared to refer, almost without second thought. Mediation today has become more sensitive to the psychosocial dynamics behind couples that are going through separation and divorce, and it's become much more sensitive to the needs of children and ensuring that children are properly cared for and are exposed to a minimum amount of conflict following their parents' separation.
What would be your recommendation to better support families in distress?
I'd rather see a system that was less focused on the court, that was prepared to treat the separation of parents with a greater degree of sensitivity to their needs and their experiences as they transition through the process of decoupling. I'd like to see a system that provided a whole range of services rather than just one service, litigation. I'd like to see a system that perhaps moves out of the court context altogether and becomes perhaps an administrative model where you can provide supports along with dispute resolution services and in a decision-making environment that includes non-adversarial processes alongside adversarial processes where necessary, that has forms and processes that are designed to suit the needs of families rather than the needs of corporations and people involved in motor vehicle accidents. It's going to require a significant systemic change if we're going to leave the judicial model and embrace an administrative model of family dispute resolution. But I think we can get there. Right now, the current system seems to me to be unsustainable. It costs too much money, both for governments and for people. It takes too long to resolve disputes, and frankly, it's too destructive to the well-being of families because, of course, families who have separated continue to be families, and they need to think about their future functioning rather than simply winning the trial or winning the application. It's not about winning tomorrow, it's about the long-term future of the family.
Do you see possibility from this symposium to come up with enriching solution?
I think that's entirely possible. But the change, the magnitude of the change we're talking about is enormous. This is change that requires a shift in attitudes and a shift in perspective from the highest levels of government down to the lowest level of court.
How could we help parents to resolve their issues with less friction?
In my view, as a society, we don't teach individuals in general about how to resolve disputes in a constructive manner that involves a minimum amount of conflict. Whether we're talking about a dispute that you have with your bank, or a dispute that you have with your neighbor, or a dispute that you have with your partner. And so one of the things that could be done is teaching dispute resolution in school. They do that in some schools in Canada, but it should be, in my view, a critical component of the primary and secondary curricula all across the country. This is an important skill, and the dispute resolution skills that you learn as a child, whether they're in the schoolyard or at home, are often the dispute resolution skills that you employ as an adult.